The vast expanse of space echoed with an eerie silence broken only by the hum of machinery. Suddenly, the rhythmic pulse of an intelligent signal reached our planet, a silent scream across the cosmos. Humanity's scientific minds scrambled to decipher this cosmic plea. What was it trying to convey? And why was it reaching out to us? As days turned into weeks, scientists worked tirelessly to craft a response. But as the world waited with bated breath for a reply, something unexpected happened. The transmission ceased. Days turned into weeks. The signal went silent. Just when hope began to dwindle, a massive spaceship pierced through the atmosphere, descending rapidly towards Earth. At first glance, it looked like a typical spacecraft, but soon the unthinkable became clear. It wasn't descending, it was plummeting. Crashing into the Earth's atmosphere, the spaceship disintegrated in a blaze of fire and metal. Debris rained down, causing widespread devastation in its wake. And amidst the dust and smoke, something truly horrifying emerged. Creatures unlike any we had ever seen before, with a terrifying design that seemed straight out of a nightmare. They were here, whatever they are, and their arrival spelled nothing but doom. The wreckage of the spaceship revealed more horrors, grotesque hybrids that seemed to defy the laws of biology. These were not just aliens, they were a terrifying blend of extraterrestrial and human, a chilling testament to a nightmare scenario that had unfolded aboard the ship. Their mission, if it had ever been peaceful, had gone terribly wrong. And now Earth faced the consequences. But amidst the chaos and carnage, one thing remained a mystery. What had really happened aboard the spaceship? What had transformed these beings into terrifying monsters? And how did this alien incursion mark just the beginning of Earth's descent into chaos? This is the chilling tale of Alien Earth Earthbound Horror. Now let's jump right into the 5th episode of this terrifying series. Aboard the USCSS Magina, the reality of sabotage becomes glaringly obvious. 17 days before the catastrophic crash, the crew, including the strong-willed Morrow, the resourceful Zaveri, the level-headed Rahim, and the determined Chibouzo, are preparing for what they believe will be a routine operation. However, they soon realize that something sinister is at play. With tensions high and trust eroding, Morrow finds himself torn between his duty to the corporation and his growing suspicions about the mission. He grapples with unsettling premonitions that something is amiss and the unsettling feeling that they are not alone. As the crew ventures deeper into the ship, they uncover a series of horrifying discoveries that challenge everything they thought they knew about the mission. They encounter signs of a struggle, evidence of a desperate fight for survival that has already claimed many lives. It becomes clear that the ship is a battleground, a terrifying war zone where humans and aliens have clashed in a deadly struggle. As the crew navigates through the treacherous corridors, they must confront not only the physical dangers that lurk around every corner, but also the psychological torment of unraveling the truth behind the ship's horrifying state. The realization dawns on them that the true horror lies not only in the terrifying creatures that stalk them, but also in the depths of human treachery and the dark secrets that have been concealed. Then the moment of betrayal. Morrow confronts Dr. Zar, exposing his treacherous actions and the hidden agenda that has put everyone in peril. The revelation sends shockwaves through the crew, shattering the fragile bonds of trust that held them together. As the gravity of the situation sinks in, Morrow realizes that he is in a race against time to not only save himself but also to expose the truth behind the conspiracy that has put the entire planet in jeopardy. With the fate of humanity hanging in the balance, Morrow must summon every ounce of strength and cunning to survive the horrors that await him, and as the lines between good and evil become blurred, he is forced to make impossible choices that will determine the very survival of humankind. Suddenly, the crew is under attack. The xenomorphs, those terrifying creatures from another world, emerge from the shadows, their presence a nightmare made flesh. The attack is relentless, catching the crew off guard and leaving them to fend for themselves against these ruthless predators. The claustrophobic corridors of the ship become a deadly battleground as the crew members fight for their lives. With their backs against the wall, they must use all their skills and resources to try and survive the onslaught. Each member faces their fears head-on, displaying incredible courage and resilience in the face of certain death. But as the attacks intensify and casualties mount, the crew is pushed to the brink. They are forced to confront not only the physical threat posed by the xenomorphs but also the psychological torment of knowing that there may be no escape from this metal tomb. The episode builds to a shocking climax, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering if anyone will survive the horrors that unfolded within the belly of the beast. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. As the crew fights for their lives, fragments of the past begin to surface. Flashbacks reveal the crew members' backstories, giving insight into the events that led up to the catastrophic crash. We learn about Morrow's troubled past, his cybernetic enhancements, and the moral dilemmas he faces. We discover Zaveri's brilliance, her determination, and the sacrifices she's willing to make. Rahim's quiet strength and unwavering loyalty are explored, as well as Chibouzo's resourcefulness and unshakable spirit. These glimpses into their pasts humanize the characters, making their struggles all the more relatable and their bravery all the more inspiring. And then there's the alien element, the enigmatic presence that has driven humanity to the brink. As the crew battles for survival, we catch glimpses of the alien's true form, its intelligence and its terrifying capabilities. Their otherworldly nature is both fascinating and terrifying, leaving us with a sense of awe and dread. We begin to understand the true extent of the threat they pose, their resilience, their adaptability, and their sheer ruthlessness. The alien's presence looms over the narrative, reminding us that there are forces beyond our comprehension lurking in the darkness. Amidst the chaos and carnage, a shocking twist emerges. A traitor within the crew is revealed, someone who has been secretly sabotaging the mission, putting everyone in danger. This revelation adds a layer of complexity to the plot, forcing the crew to question their trust and confront the darkness that can lurk even in the most unexpected places. As the truth unravels, the stakes are raised, keeping us on the edge of our seats and wondering who can be trusted. And as the final moments of the episode approach, we are confronted with a gut-wrenching choice. One of the crew members, perhaps the most beloved character, is faced with a life-altering decision that will have profound consequences for the future of humanity. Their sacrifice resonates deeply, leaving us with a sense of loss and admiration. The ending is both tragic and hopeful, suggesting that even in the darkest of times, courage and selflessness can shine through. Now let's move on to some viewer reviews. Ucom wrote, Episode 5, directed by Jennifer Getzinger, doesn't just push the series forward, it redefines its boundaries. It relaunches the fear, body horror, and corporate greed of the alien universe in a shockingly visceral way. Decider said, this episode does not pull its punches. From the opening moments to its shocking conclusion, Earthbound is a relentless thrill ride that leaves no room for breath. It's a masterclass in building suspense, keeping you on the edge of your seat the entire time. The Times added, amid all this destruction, a new question emerges. What happens when the ultimate predator lands on Earth and sets humanity's worst nightmares in motion? As systems collapse and hybrids awaken, a new chapter in terrestrial horror begins. Finally, the Daily Beast commented, if you're looking for the goriest, most technically impressive entry in the Alien franchise since James Cameron's masterpiece, look no further than Episode 5 of Alien Earth. It's a triumph of practical effects and a Lovecraftian nightmare brought to life. So whether you're a longtime fan of the Alien franchise or a newcomer to the series, Alien Earth, Earthbound Horror promises an unforgettable journey into the darkest corners of our imagination. So get ready to brace yourself for the descent into chaos. Let the fear begin.